on the horizon, you've got a bigger, grander plan. Is that fair to
Oh
say?
my gosh. I mean, I just looked at our AI plan the other day, and it's like, it's, it's, you can't just be scattershot with AI, but if you pick the right types of things to work on, it's amazing what we're going to be able to do. So we think we can create a very seamless experience for the user, which will have its Gladys-like elements talking to the agents like you did, and it will also have help the software talk to the software better, and you know pull more things out than you can now. You don't have to write macros for everything. The AI can pull those reports together. I mean, like reporting is one of the big frustrations a lot of law firms have, because never quite right. And for 11 law firms, there are 12 ways that they want to do everything. So you can't really hardwire that into the code. You have to have something like an AI to say, I want a report that's going to do this, 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 and this. And it will be able to connect the dots among all the data. If you have a great data set, as your guest the other day pointed out. I mean, it's like it changes the focus of your company to, you must have great integrations and APIs and great data. And if you've got those, you can put together something that's really powerful from the user standpoint.
I wonder if from that conversation, if there's anything that you disagreed with what we talked about, because I always like to hear where I'm wrong sometimes. So do you think with any of the and we were a lot of the stuff we were talking about was theoretical, but I will Dan Schnurbush, he and I think that's the one you're talking about the episode, but
Hmm.
he and we kind of got deep on some things. We're kind of getting theory, and I just like those kind of conversations, and I, I like to talk about sort of where I think the law is headed in the next few years and all that. But I do wonder if there's anything from that conversation where like, these guys got this wrong. That's just not right. They're just off base. I'm just curious.
I'm approaching these next few years with a lot of humility because
As we all should. Yes.
we're gonna get a lot of surprises. Some will be good and some will not, probably not. So no, I think it's all a healthy conversation at this point, and I like it. I felt like it was a fairly realistic conversation, which is you're not hearing a lot in the legal world. You're hearing it's the end of the world, it's a panacea, but trying to really get into it and help law firms figure out how do we keep up with this thing without doing stupid and expensive things and appearing in court as a cat lawyer and sending in falsified pleadings and do something productive with it.
Yeah, well,
Because
I saw just last week, a circuit court judge had actually ruled on a case with fake cases. And I think we all knew it was going to happen at some point. But the thing that I think is kind of interesting is that it makes me wonder if you go back to like the 70s and 80s, how many cases were fake cases back then? Because it was very hard. Think about what it took to verify whether or not a case was actually a real case back then. You had to go to a library, grab a book, and actually find it in a book. So to me, it was far easier back then to make up a case than it is these days. You can know in a minute whether or not it's a good, or probably less than that. You can copy and
yeah,
paste it into. You could. We got to the point where every single pleading, we are going through and double checking every single freaking case as I guess as you should, but after it's a final document, we're going through again and saying because I'm terrified of it. I am absolutely terrified of us actually using a case because I don't newsflash. I don't draft the majority of our pleadings. They're drafted by someone else. I then go through and review it, make my edits to it, and so I want to
yeah.
make sure that something has not been put in there that shouldn't be.